10 animals that saved lives. Number 10. Dolphin Rescue. Now this first one on the list really shows how intelligent dolphins are. After all, they are mammals like us humans. 14-year-old David Sisi was with his father on his boat and he didn't know how to swim at the time. That's a great place for him then. Middle of the boat, in the middle of the ocean. Unironically, he fell out of the boat and his father didn't notice. Father of the Year, everybody. It could have surely meant doom for David. Luckily, popular tourist attraction and local dolphin hero Filippo came to the rescue. When David was floating helplessly in the water, Filippo, who was 850 pounds, noticed that he was in trouble. He proceeded to push the young boy up out of the water and eventually to safety. The dolphin was something of a celebrity in the small town off the coast of southern Italy where this all took place. When David realized that he was being pushed by Filippo, he says that he started to hold on to the friendly dolphin. The dolphin then started to lecture David's father on why you shouldn't bring a child who can't swim onto a boat in the middle of the ocean because, my god, that's just kind of common sense right there.
While twisting starts as they leave the water. Sheer muscle drives their spectacular aerial display.
Number 9. Dog vs. Snake. Mrs. Sparks was in the kitchen within earshot of her 2-year-old grandson and arfed the dog on the day of the attack. Apt naming. The woman heard her dog growling and barking, so she decided to go fetch the toddler and bring him inside. When she arrived in the backyard, Mrs. Sparks found a deadly coral snake in a dangerous fight with the protective arf. Her dog suffered many bites from the coral snake, but when Mrs. Sparks arrived outside, she shot the snake. Though the snake had survived, Arf had to go straight to the veterinarian hospital where he was treated for bites and trauma. It took the vet 9 hours to find the antitoxin from the bite, but eventually Arf was healed. Had he not been there, who knows if the 2-year-old grandson would have been okay. Number 8. Bintu and the Fallen Child. Before the long-lived, long-dead meme of Harambe, there was Bintu Jwa. In the summer of 1996, a 3-year-old boy fell into the gorilla pit at the zoo.
And another note in the news today, the nation's hairiest Good Samaritan is reaping the rewards of her good heart today. Lots of visitors and baskets of fruit from adoring fans, all for Bintu Jwa, who is the female gorilla who rescued a 3-year-old boy who tumbled into her habitat at the Brookfield Zoo near Chicago on Friday.
The little boy fell a whopping 20 feet. That's actually pretty high when you consider it. For the moments after falling, the child lay lifeless on the ground. Bintu Jwa, an 8-year-old gorilla with a pup of her own, picked up the unconscious boy and cradled him in her chest. At one point, Bintu turned a shoulder to the other gorillas as a sign that the small child was under the protection of her. She then cradled him in her right arm, sort of rocking him back and forth. Bintu then very deliberately carried the boy all the way to the gates where the workers could retrieve him.
Bintu first cradled the boy, who suffered bruises and abrasions, and then took him to a service door where zoo personnel could get to him.
Gorillas are a lot more caring than they look. Number 7. Dog dials 911. Belle is a beagle who dialed 911 when her owner, Kevin, had a seizure.
After half a year with a trainer, 4-year-old Bella is already able to speak for her owner, even when he can't.
Good girl. You my girl.
She bit onto her owner's cell phone when Kevin's blood sugar dropped dangerously low. Belle had been trained to do this in case her owner had such an accident. Animals like Belle can use their sense of smell to understand when their owner's blood sugar levels get too low. The dog reads blood sugar levels by periodically licking their owner's nose. If something isn't right, the dog will first whine and paw at their human. But in the case of Kevin and Belle, he suffered a seizure. She was trained to bite down on the number 9, which automatically calls 911. For this action, Belle was the very first dog to receive the VITA Wireless Samaritan Award. Kinda wonder how that police call went down. 911 emergency hotline, what's your emergency? I told you not to call this number anymore. Number 6. Dolphins vs. Sharks. Lifeguard Rob Howe, his daughter, and her 2 friends decided to take a swim around 100 meters out from shore at Ocean Beach. The beach is located near Whangarei in New Zealand.
When you get that view, see, look, big puncture mark, it's hard to tell but that sure looks like it could be a couple big teeth. You know, those big, broad, cutting teeth from a tiger shark.
All of a sudden, 7 bottlenose dolphins started encircling them. The dolphins were acting strangely. They were jumping between the 2 girls, almost herding them towards the others. The swimmers were separated by about 20 meters when the dolphins began their distraction tactic. Eventually, Hal realized a great white shark was headed straight for the 2 girls. The dolphins' erratic behavior confused the shark enough for them to huddle all 4 of the girls together. There they stayed around the 4 swimmers for about 40 minutes, which was long enough for the shark to lose interest and leave them alone. Now that's more dedication than you'd ever find in a human. Number 5. Oreo. The Boucher family lived in Ottawa County in 2008. They had a black and white cat named Oreo that the girls of the house insisted on keeping because of its cute green eyes. Most of the family didn't even like cats, but for some reason Oreo stuck around. In the winter of 2008, Oreo started making one heck of a ruckus. The whole family woke up to find the house absolutely engulfed in flames. They grabbed what they could grab as they ran out of the house. It was only after they escaped the burning home that the fire alarms went off. The fire began as an electrical fire in the garage. The flames created a lot of damage, but all 5 children and both of their parents escaped alive, all because of Oreo the cat. Number 4. Elephant Lifeguard. A man named Derek and the elephant Kamla spend a majority of their time at Elephant Nature Park in Thailand. Kamla is the youngest elephant at the park and Derek was her favorite person. She loves him so much that the minute he calls her name, she will come running to him no matter what he's doing. Kamla was brought to the sanctuary when she was just 4 years old. She spent all 4 of those years in terrifying crush training in the entertainment field. This might be why she is so drawn to Derek, the person that showed her so much love. One day when Derek began drowning in the river in the national park where Kam lives, she noticed and came to the rescue. She ran to him and swam out into the middle of the stream. She supplies him with her trunk and herds him with her feet safely to shore. Now that is true love right there. Number 3. Jambo and Levan. Young Levin Mehmet fell into the gorilla cage back in 1986. Getting to notice a pattern here. He was only 5 years old at the time. The long fall into the gorilla enclosure knocked him unconscious and the large male gorillas began eyeing him as prey. This is when Jambo stepped in though. Jambo is a silverback male gorilla. He stood ground next to Levin and protected him from the other circling male gorillas in the pen. In the most heartwarming scene of the live video footage, Jambo strokes Levin's back in what seems like a comforting motion. The boy woke up and began to cry. This startled the gorillas and Jambo took the opportunity to lead the pack back to their home shelter area. An EMT took the opportunity to jump into the enclosure and fasten himself and the boy to a PE. They were hoisted out safe and sound, thankfully.
Then, ignoring the danger, ambulance attendant Brian Fox joins the rescue team. When human beings invade a gorilla's territory, it will fight fiercely to protect it.
Moral of the story? Don't mess with Jambo. He'll mess you up. Number 2. Reed and Angel. 74-year-old Reed McIntish lived alone in the home that formerly housed his wife and son. In February 27th, McIntish was fast asleep in his bed early in the morning. His 7-month-old cat, Angel, started pawing his face incessantly and he woke up to find his house burning. Unfortunately, McIntish lost his home. He had raised his son in the house and lived there with his wife until her death from cancer. McIntish had 5 cats who were all congregated in his bedroom in hopes of getting him out of the burning building. Reed escaped, but none of his cats made it out alive. He is forever thankful for that kitten that gave her life for him. She was truly an angel. Number 1. Parrot Home Defense. Jack Dooms claims that he let 2 men into his home thinking they were his neighbors. The pair claimed he was a neighbor who was in trouble. They then hit the man over the head and demanded that he hand over all of his pills. It probably would have gotten worse for Jack if his pet didn't intervene. Charlie, his pet parrot, was naturally peeved when he saw the men disrespecting his owner. He started violently attacking them. Jack even claims that the parrot had chunks of skin in his beak after it was all over. Jack believes that Charlie saved his life that day. In Jack Duke's small town of Fort Smith, Arkansas, Charlie was declared a hero. Who wants a cracker? He wants a cracker. And that's our video for today, everybody. Don't these kind of stories just make your day? We can only hope our pets would come to us in our time of need. Though some of us wish we didn't have a time of need to put them in danger as well. Which animal do you think was the most heroic? Personally, I think the parrot. Parrots are awesome. Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more content from us here at Top 5 Best. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.